Have you ever wondered how we keep having budget cut after budget cut, and yet we still can't seem to get ahead? I've got an answer for that coming up.
Adrienne Southworth is running to be the 7th District's next state senator. Previously the Deputy Chief of Staff for Lieutenant Governor Janine Hampton and leader of the watchdog organization Take Back Kentucky, Adrienne's combination of experience and skill is known to unwind the labyrinth of state government for the benefit of many, not just the few. She is the proven problem solver we can trust to represent our views, listen to our needs, and despite the challenges we face, always find the best solutions.
Hello, I'm Adrienne Southworth, running in the 7th District to be your next senator. Today we have with us Steve. Thanks so much for coming.
Adrienne,
good friend, Steve.
Adrienne, thank you for having me back. And listen, I heard your question and I am intrigued myself. I mean, how is it that we get ourselves in this financial mess? I mean, what are you going to do differently?
Well, right now it's almost like we have, here's our budget and here's our policy. And so for a good example of this is in the corrections department. We have to pay a certain amount per person that we have in our custody.
Okay.
That's a set number. The budget is capped at X number, right? But the policy is let's just take in everybody. 50% of jail admissions are non-criminal acts. They're just miscellaneous infractions, this order didn't come through. It's just stuff, okay? So either if we're gonna have that be our policy, then why don't we budget for that? But the budget needs to match what the policy is gonna be, not policy just runs rampant and the budget's over here, we'll never catch up.
Well, that makes sense because that's always like at the end of the fiscal year when they have to balance, it always seems like that's why they're always like, well, we have to do this and cut this and maybe get money from here. And it's just like suddenly just magically appears like, oh, we made it, it's zeroed out. Yeah, it makes sense that if you have a plan and you plan accordingly, I mean, it's adjustable, obviously, because you don't know how many people you're going to jail.
You don't, but let's at least look at a reasonable number, okay?
Right.
Set the number. If you set it high, isn't that a good thing? So, like, there are a few agencies, I cannot remember exactly which ones right now, but in the budget, there are a few agencies that will put down what I consider to be a real number. A real number being, this is how much we actually spent, and it's a little less than what was budgeted. So therefore, there is some difference. You figure they've probably done real math. Most agencies, on the other hand, have what you just mentioned, the magic. We actually spent every single dime exactly to the T, and that stuff's been swished around who knows how many times. It's mass swishing at the end of a fiscal year.
Yeah, it is. I remember it. The other thing is people are going to spend as much money as you give them or allocate to them without being responsible for knowing, hey, what's my incentive for coming in short? What's my incentive for doing this? And what I hear you're saying is you want to write more of a policy that's targeted to saying, here's what we're going to do. And if we improve on this, we're going to reap the benefits to show people that we're actually making a dent in the budget.
And put language in there that actually rewards that kind of responsibility, because there are so many people that are scared to death we'll lose $1 if we don't use it. And it's real. It's a real threat. And so they just start spinning out the ears.
So if you don't spend as much as you did last time, then they're going to cut you.
Oh yeah, there's all of that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Makes sense. So again, what I hear is you go in, and if you don't have a plan or if you're not taking the initiative, things are going to still be done the same way over and over again. But you having that experience and knowing, guys, this is what we should be looking at, and you're an outsider coming in, but you're uniquely an outsider who knows all about the inside, which is really cool. And if you can set those boundaries, then what I hear you saying is, guys, I propose we do it this way. Let's try it this way.
Yes. Every year, the budget is basically a repeat of the previous year's budget. And what bothers me so much is that they don't comb through that stuff. We see the same thing on the federal level. We keep hearing the same message from our congressmen. They're just kind of re-upping all this stuff all the time. They're never actually looking hard at it. And how in the world do you look hard at something that's that huge? So we have to take it piece by piece. But if you ask most people, most legislators, most government agency workers, how big is the government and where are all the parts? They have no idea.
Yeah, I can see that.
A few months into my time in the lieutenant governor's office, I'm sitting in my office, and I probably told you this 100 times, but it's like I'm sitting there going, if somebody actually understood where everything actually goes, then we wouldn't have all the problems we have, because we would know, here's who you call.
Yes.
Here's where it's responsible for, instead of all this shuffle stuff.
Yep, that's exactly right. And to have that responsibility, like you said, almost be a reward system. And I'm sure you've got that figured out, exactly what you're saying, to actually
Budget
reward.
language.
Yeah.
Make
Okay.
it a reward system instead of a penalty to be responsible.
There you
It's
go.
a grand new idea.
There we go. Responsibility in government.
That's right.
Share this video with your friends in Anderson, Franklin, Gallatin, Owen, and Woodford counties. And please vote for Adrienne Southworth